Is YouTube fun? Well, it can be. Am I glad that I started YouTube? Yes. Does it get frustrating at times? Absolutely. Is it nothing but fun? Absolutely not. If you're planning on coming to Thailand or just starting a YouTube channel in general, I'm gonna drop some knowledge on you today that might make your entry just a little bit easier. Cue the B-roll. All right, just some preface so I don't get destroyed by the YouTube police in the comments. Number one, this is not gonna be a video all about the YouTube algorithm and how to show up in search results and how many human sacrifices I have to make per month to stay relevant. That would be a whole rabbit hole of a video that we don't really have time for. Number two, I'm obviously no YouTube expert. I've been on for 1 year. I don't know near everything, but I do know some things. And number three, all these things are under the assumption that you are just starting your first channel. This isn't your 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th channel like some guys that I know here. This is all under the assumption that this is your first channel and you're kind of learning what to expect. Now, this is mostly just gonna have to do with things that you're gonna come across mentally, physically, emotionally, so it's not any technicality stuff. If you would like me to do a video about that stuff, go ahead and drop in the comments and maybe I'll make it happen, I don't know. Okay, so first things first, this might seem super obvious to some, but the amount of people that I've seen go this route, and unfortunately it just doesn't work, is very surprising. So if you're starting a channel, obviously you need to decide what exactly that channel is gonna be about. Now, just kind of dabbling into the algorithm, you need to help YouTube figure out what type of videos you make so YouTube knows who to push those videos to. I'm sure you know, if you spend enough time on YouTube just watching videos, when you watch, let's say, a car mechanic, somebody who does like automotive builds, once you start watching those videos, you're gonna get recommended more channels that make those type of videos. That's because the YouTube algorithm goes through, and after so many people clicking on videos, they know, okay, this person likes to watch these type of videos, and those people watch these channels, and sometimes people that watch those channels watch these other channels, so we're gonna recommend these ones. I see, unfortunately, a lot of people that start out a channel and they're just kind of all over the place. I was definitely a little bit guilty of this when I first started as well. You might think, okay, well, the broader the videos I make, the more different types of videos I make, the more people I can reach, which is not necessarily not true, but when you're first starting out, it's really good to niche down, how we say, to really get a specific audience. That way, when you start putting out this content, YouTube knows, okay, these people like to watch this type of stuff, so we can recommend that channel to them, and it's more likely that people will continue watching. At the end of the day, YouTube wants people to stay on YouTube because that's more ads viewed, YouTube makes more money, and everybody wins. Now, another one that I see a lot of people definitely fall victim to, and I know somebody personally that this happened to them very recently, is getting this notion that overnight success is a thing that's super common on YouTube. I'm just gonna tell you right now, if this is your first channel, this is your first time making videos, you don't know how anything works, the possibility of you blowing up to, 100,000 subs in just a few months is realistically just not very likely. A lot of the times when people see those channels, like, wow, they've only been around for 6 months, they've got 250,000 subs. What a lot of people don't realize, I definitely didn't when I first started, was that's probably not that person's first channel. Now, let's say that I started a new channel tomorrow, I have a year's worth of knowledge already, and I can guarantee that that new channel would grow at a faster rate than my first one did, because I mean, if you're first starting out, you've got a serious amount of time before you even start to get an idea of what works and what doesn't. And YouTube is always changing as well, so what worked 6 months ago might not work now. So when you first start out, give yourself a realistic timeline. I tell everybody a year is probably like the really realistic space to feel like you've actually kind of got it figured out, at least. I mean, for the first 6 months that I was doing YouTube, I had no idea what really worked, and The thing about being on for that long is you get, you know, a test batch. You get to make so many videos in that year that you can actually go back and look and see what really works, what doesn't. And you're learning, you're picking up new skills through that amount of time. Your thumbnails will get better, your videos will get better, your scripts will get better, your edits will get better. So I tell everybody, realistically, give yourself at least a year. If you've hit a year and you're still not confident or you feel like it's not working, then that's a different story. But don't get caught up, post videos for 2 months and then be like, oh, well, I don't have 100,000 subscribers, so it's just not gonna work. Don't give up, stick to the grind. Now on the flip side of that, if you do find something that's working, make sure you don't rest on your laurels. Like we just said, YouTube is always changing. And the thing about having an audience is obviously, I'm sure you understand as well as a viewer that things need to continue to stay fresh. I'm just in the middle of traffic here, let's get out of the way. Things need to continue to be fresh. So let's say you start out your first couple months, you're making an active effort to make your edits better. You're learning new skills, transitions, color grades, all that stuff. Then you get to a point where you have some success and then you just stop learning. I definitely did this a few months ago. I had found some success, some videos were working well. And up until that point, I was pushing almost every day to try to learn a new skill. Every edit, I tried to implement some new technique or anything like that, or framing and how I shot my shots. And then I kind of stopped for a while. Now, luckily, in the past month, I've picked it up again. So just make sure that you are constantly trying to evolve your channel, whether that's learning more about YouTube algorithms, whether that's getting better at thumbnails, Photoshop, whether that's getting better at edits, whether that's learning new frames and how to shoot shots when you're out shooting your B-roll, whatever it may be. Just make sure that you're constantly trying to evolve. That way, one, it keeps you motivated because you're learning new things and you don't get bored, and it keeps your audience more engaged because they're seeing new shit. You might be saying to yourself, well, Tempus, I can only watch so many tutorial videos and all that shit before my brain turns to mush. I completely understand that. One of my things that I always tell everybody if they're starting out a channel, obviously you're a viewer on YouTube. If you want to start a YouTube channel, that's because you enjoy YouTube yourself and you want to be a part of the creator community. So I tell everybody, analyze everything that you do as a viewer. There's going to be a lot of habits and things that you do that share and go with other people as well. So I tell everybody, every time you get on YouTube, every time you go to click a video, every time you subscribe to a creator, whatever it may be, analyze why you did that. Every time you're going through all those hundreds of videos on your homepage and you click on one specific video, what made you watch that? Because I guarantee it wasn't just the subject. There was something else to it, whether it be the thumbnail, the title, or the creator themselves. So analyze every single thing that you do on YouTube and do your best to implement that into your videos. Well, I like these thumbnails because they look like this, and I feel like that grabs my attention. I like to follow this creator because he has really great edits, or he always, you know, touches on certain subjects that I enjoy. So every time you click on a video, every time you watch something, pick the video apart, pick apart the thumbnail, a little bit of everything, and that will help you just kind of have success and implement the things that you see that work for you as a subscriber, and then you're on your way. And at the end of the day, probably the most important thing I think that you should keep in the front of your mind when creating a channel is understanding that yes, being a creator is fun, being able to talk to people and maybe answer questions for people online, you know what I mean? Feel like you're providing something. It's not always fun. Now, I know it's really easy to go down the rabbit hole of watching creators and being like, wow, they're just always having the best time and everything's cool and it just seems super easy. I'll tell you, of course, that's not true. Everybody has bad days. If you've been following this channel long enough, you'll know that I make a serious effort to be transparent about everything. When stuff sucks, I'm gonna let you know about it. And being a YouTube creator is not all glitter and rainbows. There's gonna be days where you don't feel like filming. There's gonna be days where your edit is just taking way longer than normal because you can't make anything work right. I think the most important thing is to stay consistent. Obviously, just like anything else you do in life, all the good stuff does not come easy, but showing up every day, constantly trying to be better is what's gonna give you success in the long run. And just stick with it. Be honest with yourself. If everything is going up and up and up and up, as long as you continue to improve every video or every month, whatever it may be, whatever timeline you give yourself, if you keep improving and you have the means to stick with it, don't give up. As always, guys, guys, thank you for tuning in to Tempus TV. If you would like a little bit more in-depth videos on algorithms, edits, stuff like that, feel free to just let me know down in the comments. If there is a demand for that, I would be happy to do it. Those videos are gonna be a little bit boring for the viewers that aren't trying to create a channel, so we'll have to be careful about it. But if you would like to see more and learn more about Thailand, feel free to click the video on screen right now, and we will catch you in the next one.